Hello again, folks. The Deadman back here with the Dead Truth. Here to bring you some more information. But for now, I promised you guys a top 10 list of my favorite villains. I spent a lot of time working on this because there's a lot of villains out there that need to be named, that need to be recognized. But for me, I'm a big movie buff, so I'm just going to recant the ones that really, really made an impact on me in some way or another. So, let's get to it, shall we? Number 10, starting from the bottom, of course. Number 10 is Pennywise from It. Tim Curry played that role. One of the creepiest fucking voices ever. Even when he was being funny, like when he was sitting on the top row in the library and he was, clacking that ratchet thing, still creepy as shit. This is a creature that wants you to be scared to death before he devours you, because you taste better. And not only that, he kind of sticks to children, so that's just fucking evil in itself, man. Anyways, moving on. Number 9, Benedict from Last Action Hero, the guy with one eye. Loved him because this is one of my favorite examples of when villains are smart. That's just it. They give you a reason to hate them. They give you a reason, and they give the hero, everybody, the rest of the crew and cast, a big reason to hate them. And Benedict figured out the little golden ticket that the kid had to go in and out of realities, to bring forth and bring back what he wanted. When he goes on that little thing about having a christening for Rosemary's Baby, Hannibal Lecter can do the catering, that he can go in and out of worlds at will, bring around King Kong if you wanted to. That's a good fucking villain. That is a good villain. Arguable if you want to. Leave your comments below. Number 8, the Lord of Darkness from Legend. Yeah. Another Tim Curry role. I know. But, shit, man. If you were a kid watching that movie, that guy was scary as fuck. He had big, gigantic black horns, you know what I mean? He had the deep voice, the rumbling voice. He had all the little creatures that work for him. When the chick pisses him off and he starts just bearing down on her. Evil. And on top of that, he wants to kill the last unicorn. Not that I give a fuck about unicorns, but that's just mean. Oh well. Next one up, number 7, is definitely Moriarty. From or James Moriarty, from the new Sherlock series that's been on BBC with Benedict Cumberbatch. I really like the way they took this character. I really, really do. I really like the power that they gave him. The way the actor is able to play the character and the little nuances that he does. Awesome. And on top of that, the way he actually controls everything. You know what I mean? Sherlock gets into a situation, he's able to get out of it one way or another, but I'm not going to spoil anything for you if you haven't watched the second season, but, it comes to a point where you're just like, wow, Moriarty set all of this up, all of it, and being able to outsmart the greatest detective in history, that's a hell of a feat. And on top of that, Moriarty does this by himself. Yeah, he buys people off, here and there, but for the most part, it's by himself. So that's a hell of a villain, being able to do that. Number 6, Simon Phoenix from Demolition Man. You know what? Hate the film, love the film. He played an excellent role. He played a role, that was just literally defined for very early Wesley Snipes before he got to Blade, where you could still have fun as an actor and not be stereotyped. But the role himself against John Spartan, two halves of the same coin. Literally, they call him the Demolition Man because he goes in, everything gets destroyed, mostly because of Simon Phoenix. Simon Phoenix, sets up the drums, sets up the whole cigarette and the whole, 100 gallons of gasoline, kills the hostages before John Spartan ever gets there, gets cryo-frozen with John Spartan, comes out of cryo-freeze, and the first thing he does is kill his captors. Still love it. Password to the cuffs, teddy bear. Awesome. Number 5, and thanks to my cameraman Lofus for introducing me to this character. We're just gonna keep rolling on that. So not only does he owe me a new phone,
The phone wasn't new to begin with.
Dark and Raw. Now, for those of you who don't know this series, I highly recommend to check it out. It's Terry Goodkind's The Sword of Truth series, The Wizard's First Rule. This is the first book in the series. Awesome, awesome, awesome goddamn series. And I'm really not going to try. I'm going to try not to spoil anything. But let's just say this son of a bitch is the epitome of evil. I mean, the epitome of evil. When you read, you know, Dungeons and Dragons books, yeah, you got the wizard who kind of does this or that. No, this fucking guy is, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give away a scene, and I'm sorry about it, but you know what? This guy actually eats children. You know what? You'll see what I mean in the book. I'm trying really hard not to spoil this. Don't look at me like that. You know what scene I'm talking about.
I know what scene you're talking about. It doesn't.
It essentially works. The description in a way works.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, fine. He sacrifices children.
There you go.
Terrible, terrible scene too. I mean, it's very brutal, and the son of a bitch is just evil. I mean, he's the kind of evil that's like, you know what? If I can't have the fucking world, no one can. Literally, this whole thing comes down to either I rule the world or I fucking destroy it. Either one is good with me. That's an awesome kind of evil. That really is. That makes for a potent villain. And you know, his whole presence in the books, you know, and I'm trying really hard not to spoil stuff, but you know, his whole presence in the book and other, you know, little workings in it, it just resonates. Bad guy, resonates evil. Just this dude is just one of those guys where you're like, fuck me. If an actor played you, I'd punch you in the face. Okay, if an actor played you in a proper adaptation of the role, I'd punch you in the face. Thank you. Fuck that series. Fuck the TV series. Really, don't watch the TV series. Please, don't watch the TV series. Number 4. Agent Smith. Oh, yes. My favorite character from the entire Matrix. And I'm not saying trilogy because there was more than one medium to this whole fucking thing. You had the Matrix, you had the Animatrix, the Matrix Reloaded, then you had the Matrix Enter the Matrix, the game, then you had Matrix Revolutions. So it was a bunch of mediums involved. I may have gotten one of those wrong, I'm not quite sure.
No, you're just missing another game.
Oh, yeah, well, the Path of Neo had nothing to do with the main story.
Sure it did.
Had nothing to do with it. Anyways, one of the most incredibly well-written characters, one of the most developed characters, one of the most dynamic characters in all of that series was Agent Smith. The guy was just bad. And I mean bad. Real bad. He killed whoever he wanted. At one point in the series, he starts turning people, live human beings, not just their digital selves, but actually takes over their complete mind, consumes them. He is after the complete destruction of not only Neo, but the Matrix itself. And on top of that, Hugo Weaving playing this role and being able to summon that voice when the guy is extremely British, being able to summon that voice, that just raw power to his monologues, to his speeches, to even the way he fought. Because, you know, that really was Hugo Weaving throwing down. I don't know if you guys know that, but it was. You know, just the way he fought was just animalistic at some points. And very, very uncharacteristic for a character that's supposed to be a program. Smith brought a whole new level of threat to the Matrix. It was no longer just man versus machines. It was man versus machine versus Smith. And trust me, you'd rather take on the fucking machines. Smith was just brutal, and honestly, it's just one of my all-time favorite characters. This guy defined the modern-day bad guy. Suit, tie, and everything. Loved it. Number 3. Wesker from the Resident Evil games. He kind of made a cameo in one of the movies. Not really that impressive. No, not really. But in the games, holy shit. Going back to the first one, this motherfucker sold you out. That's right, sold you as a player. Playing Jill Valentine at the time sold you out to be zombie food. To be an experiment with the hunters and the lickers and everything going wrong in that fucking mansion. He sold you out. And on top of that, he's proud of it. He's not one of those characters that's like, oh, well, I shouldn't have done that. No, fuck that. He's like, yeah, I did it. It paid me great. Just the shit I bought with the money. It's fucking incredible. I bought a small island. They used to call it Hawaii. Guy's just that kind of evil. And you know what the worst part is that you just can't kill the fucker. You just can't kill him. How many games does Albert Wesker actually come out in? You know what I mean? Not just mentioned by name, but he actually comes out in. I used to have a real love-hate relationship with this guy up until the later games when he actually starts coming out and interacting more as the bad guy. But this guy, not only was he working for Umbrella, this is how bad he is, okay? He was working for Umbrella, plotting Umbrella's demise, at the same time plotting his own company's rise of Tricell, and then when that went global, he shut down Tricell, resurrected Umbrella just to have it shut down again. This guy is the worst kind of evil. This guy's like worse than cancer. You just fucking can't get rid of him. And on top of that, he brings shit back from the dead. That's a hard fucking thing to do. Albert Wesker, you're a son of a bitch and we love you for it. The number 2 villain, Bruce. No, not Bruce Lee, not Bruce Calloway, no. Bruce is actually the name of the shark from Jaws. Yeah. Let's face it, folks. I don't know about you, but that fucking shark made me afraid of the ocean forever. I can't even get into a bath after watching Jaws. That goddamn shark terrified people, and it terrified people today. That's just it. We have not let go of that terror. Bruce was one of the most quintessential beings as far as a villain goes. Because you know what? You can't reason with him. You can't defeat him other than literally fucking killing him. And let's face it, that's a giant goddamn shark. Not easy to do. He ate everyone. Women, children, fucking police officers, naval officers, Hawaiian people. It didn't matter. He fucking ate them. And bloodily, too. You know what I mean? Let's face it. I mean, in some of the sequels, it got a little ridiculous, but I'm talking about the first Jaws. The one that really scared the living fuck out of you. You know, when he's sitting there, what's his name? The sheriff is sitting there chumming the water, and, you know, Jaws pops up. Every single one of us was like, oh, shit. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know, that movie struck something in you, and so did Bruce. My number 1 villain, and probably comes as no surprise to most people who know me very closely, but the Joker from The Dark Knight. That's right. And you know what? The Joker in general. Oh yes, my favorite villain of all time. You see, the reason he's my favorite villain, and especially, we're going to get to The Dark Knight in a minute, but I'm gonna address just the Joker himself as being a villain. A lot of Batman's arch nemesis, or, you know, enemies, whatever you want to call them, they have some kind of supernatural edge, or, you know, superhero, supervillain edge to them that makes them a threat to Gotham City. Yes, I just fucked that word up. Shut up. To Gotham City. Every single one of them. Clayface, the Man-Bat, Ra's al Ghul, all of them. They all have some kind of weird little quirk or power that makes them a threat, except for the Joker. The Joker is the only one who is a complete 100% down-to-earth human fucking being who can still cause as much havoc, as much mayhem as Lex Luthor and his entire fucking empire. That's why the Joker is probably the best villain, as according to me. The Joker from The Dark Knight, however, played by Heath Ledger, you know, you will be missed, Heath. You really will be. And you left one of the most incredible roles in film history. Thank you for that. As far as The Dark Knight goes, though, fuck. This guy, there is a distinct difference between the one that Uncle Jack played, Jack Nicholson, and the one that Heath Ledger played. You know, all of us, when we were younger, we were like, oh god, the Joker's kind of scary. He electrocuted people till they burned up, and he shot people. That's kind of fucking scary. But in the end, you'd want to hang out with Uncle Jack. He's the kind of Joker you want to party with. You know, he's the one you show up with a bottle of whiskey and it's like, what are we going to fuck up tonight? Nah, not Heath Ledger's Joker. No, no, no. No, 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 no. That's the kind of fucking guy you don't want to be in the same zip code as. Because God only knows. That's just it. This guy is completely goddamn nuts with zero regard for human life. Zero regard. No agenda. You know what? There's always a plan, although it's never present. There's always a plan. It's most odd, asinine thing ever, but there's a plan. You know what I mean? I mean, let's face it. This guy, he wanted to keep the Batman alive just to torment him. What kind of sick mind is that? I mean, really, when you look at it, it's not. It's like, well, you want to destroy your enemies? Yes, I want to destroy my enemies. Fucking get rid of them. Not the Joker. I want to keep you around because you know what? You're fun, and I like fucking your life up. That's the kind of evil we're talking about. So, as far as number one goes, the Joker, for the most just insane role played by Heath Ledger in one of the most remarkable roles ever. And as far as the villain goes, there's none just better, as far as I'm concerned. So that's my top 10 list. If you have any arguments, you have any suggestions, you have any disagreements, please leave your comments below. But it's not over. I have an honorable mentions list. I know my cameraman's getting tired, but we're going to run through this real quick. In no particular order, I just want to throw these out. These are honorable mentions for the best villains. Zorg from the Fifth Element, played by Gary Oldman. It's hard to say. Fuck you. The Xenomorphs, seen in Aliens vs. Predator, you name it. Angelus from Angel and Buffy, respectively. The Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. Fuck, those things are creepy. Alright. Castor Troy from Face Off, played by Nicolas Cage. One of his best roles, can't lie. The Daleks, also from Doctor Who. Just awesome villains, or bad guys, whatever you want to call them. You may laugh at this, but Lord Voldemort. Yeah, that guy's seriously fucked up, and I like it. Deacon Frost. Yes, from Blade 1, played by Stephen Dorff. One of the, when you can actually get Blade, the character, to scream your name in complete and utter abject fury, you're doing a good job. Yeah. Also, Pyramid Head from all the Silent Hill, everything. And last but not least, Hannibal fucking Lecter. Thank you for that. You gave us all fucking nightmares of a well-spoken psychopath. So, that's my list for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for another zombie survival tip. And hopefully soon another gamer rant.